the first one here is admin password. This tells me what password should the administrator user be assigned. Okay? For remote desktop, I'm going to say InterSystems test. Okay? Forget about Firefox homepage, that's just my example. Installation directory. So do we want C InterSystems cache or do we want C InterSystems cache/demo? Okay, so we'll say /demo. Installation log files. This is where the installer will put my log. That's fine. Installation version. I have two options right now. There's a 2010.2.2 or 2010.2.3. I'm going to pick 2.3. Why not? Instance name. I don't like cache. I'm going to call it demo. Okay. This is a pretty interesting thing. I can actually, from my machine, set up a way so that a cache license that I have can get uploaded automatically to the system when it gets configured. It can get put in and it can get activated. Okay? So I'm going to do that. It comes from a credential store that I've created in my RightScale account, which is a secure container for license information. And again, all of this information you can get later. I have a test license for 10 users that I'm going to upload. I come back down and I say, okay, 1972 is fine for my super server port. Obviously, I want Unicode, and my web server port is 5. Okay, so 10 questions, 10 answers. Most of them are defaults. Fine, no problem. Save and launch. And in a few seconds, we should get redirected back to the main page. There we go. And once I scroll down, because this font is pretty big, we will see that there's this system called demo test that's over here. It has an arrow pointing up and a state that says pending. Now, RightScale has taken over, and they are now issuing all of the commands that they need to issue for their stuff, all of the commands they need to issue for our stuff, and within 30 minutes, I will get an email that's associated with this account saying that my instance demo test is now ready and available at a particular IP address that I can access the system at. Okay? An example of the IP address, I have a test system already running. It has been assigned this public IP address. So if I copy this public IP address, or I can just take the public DNS, which is very long, and I open up a new window, and here, and open up and show the toolbar so I can see the address. I'm going to first open up a page that doesn't exist so I can get the URL. I like to cheat that way. So I put in the IP address for the machine that is running in the cloud that I created by the same mechanism that I just showed you. And it has now opened up the system management portal, and I had created it with no license. But basically it just shows you that this machine is running in the US East environment of Amazon, and I'm able to access it from Osaka, right? Over the internet. Great. It's just there. It's running. Okay? One other thing that is pretty cool about the RightScale environment is that it gives you the ability to take advantage of some of the things that we already provide with cache. As part of Windows support, we provide WMI capabilities, Windows monitoring capabilities. So I'll show you one example of a monitor that we created very easily using the WMI support that RightScale provides to watch the global references that are being consumed, global references as in database accesses, that are being consumed or generated on this particular system. So this graph is automatically generated based on the WMI counters that we publish for cache for global references. And you have a list of 40, 50, 60 counters, and you can pick and choose, and you can create whichever types of graphs you want to look at the monitoring for a particular system. So it's another pretty cool thing with the right scale infrastructure that allows you to do this. And this stuff is already available from cache. So we can very easily plug this in. It's a 2-line script to generate this data. Very easy. We'll provide you examples. Okay? All right. So, going back to the presentation. Our last topic, virtualization. Before we get into virtualization too deeply, I will point out this one statement that we have on our website. And a lot of you have probably already seen it and heard it from us. InterSystems considers virtualization software as the same category as a computer. So we don't certify computers. We don't certify servers or workstations. But we actually certify our products against operating systems. Okay? So we don't have a certification for VMware. We don't have a certification for Hyper-V. We don't have a certification for KDI. Okay? As long as those virtualization technologies are using a supported platform as a guest operating system, we support it. But the purpose of this presentation is to give you some ideas on some of the things that you should watch out for when you're dealing with virtualization, and also to give you an update on some of the things we have seen with some recent tests. Okay? So, get asked the question, what is virtualization? And I did some research, and I found this very nice, very complicated slide from Gartner. Okay? Many nice arrows, many different colors. But basically, the purpose of this slide is to show, this is what Gartner intended, was to show that virtualization has a very big impact across many different areas in the computing industry. Things like power and cooling, green computing. People want to reduce the amount of resources that are used for providing systems. All the way up to cloud computing, which uses virtualization technologies. So it's everywhere, okay? But I personally feel that it's easiest to define what virtualization is by talking about the benefits of virtualization. And then for you to think about what it means to you.